Aloha, it was wonderful meeting you. In this video, there's going to be a 5-minute talk about what we covered. There's going to be an analysis on what we're going to be doing next time, and then we will let this slowly progress. Our full syllabus would include being able to play from any key, major, and knowing all the majors and minors within that key structure. We want to use the right fingers, but it's not necessarily always the option that we get, and we start to use intervals, just meaning we take either the third or the fifth of a chord, 1, 3, 5, and we move the third to the bass and keep the 1 and the 5. This is a C major first interval because I utilized the first note that's not the 1 on the bass. If I were to use the G and include the C, G, and E, that would still have a G in the bass, meaning this would be a second inversion because it would lead with the fifth of the chord. We go all the way to the bass and find C1. We find E, G1, and then C2. C2, E2, G2, C3, C3, E3, G3, C4. This is where our middle C takes. This is also where we're going to have most of our lesson done, from C down to C and then up to C. So C3, C4, and then C5. When talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 1, we're just expressing the 7 notes in a scale. A scale can be in any key, and it would utilize the keys and the notes inside that scale. A D has an F sharp and a C sharp, meaning the steps in between are a whole step, half step. That 3 to 4 is one of the half steps, and then the next one is 7 to 8. 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7, which is a whole step, and then the last half step from C sharp to D. Each one of these, D major, we would have an E minor, an F sharp minor, a G major, we would then have an A major, a B minor, has to include that F sharp because it's in the key. We'd have our C sharp diminished, and it would resolve to a D major. Now that's just D major. What I wanted you to see is the 3 to 4 and the 7 to 8 are always going to be half steps in a major scale. That's called Ionian. That's our first mode. That's the first scale. Everything we do will be based off of that. Scooby-Doo. Whoop-a-doo. So here we go. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, and C. C to C sharp is a minor second. C sharp to D is a minor second. Therefore, a minor second plus a minor second equals a major second. Ow! When we play minor, 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 we get a minor third. Now, generally, I'll say play that with your 1 finger and your 3 finger, but it does not matter what you play that with, just as long as you know the concept in the beginning. That's a minor third. Adding another half step on, or a diatone, or a minor second, or a semitone, we would have a major third, then a perfect fourth, an augmented fourth, and then a perfect fifth. An augmented fifth, a sixth major, an augmented sixth, a major seventh, perfect eighth. When going up, I explained how we had a augmented from a perfect fourth, and then an augmented from a perfect fifth. And these two notes feel weird because they're not this, a perfect fifth. Anything other than that, the ear wants to hear it differently. Therefore, when we go up, I called it augmented, but going down, I'm going to call it this. This is a P8 or an octave. This is our major seventh. This is our minor seventh. This is our major 6. This is our minor 6. This is our perfect 5th. This is our flat 5. This is our perfect 4th. Major 3rd. Minor 3rd. Major 2nd. Minor 2nd. One of the things we find from the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1 is that whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step is how we play any scale. Anything other than that is getting outside of that diatonic 7. So if we played a D minor and then went to a D major, that's a key change. If we were playing D major and went to an A minor, that's a key change because A major is in the key of D. And it utilizes one of the 2 sharps. So what we learned in the beginning is the first 3 scales. C major has C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, and C. Then when we go 5 notes away, we get a perfect 5th. That 5th determines that G major now has 1 sharp. It's the note right before that G, P8. Major 7th from the aforementioned explanation in C. When we play this G major, A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor, F sharp diminished, and then G again, we're utilizing that F sharp in lieu of every F natural, meaning we can't just do the same thing we did in G that we did in C because that's still the key of A minor and C. G major, A minor, but then we would have had to go to B minor, and having a B diminished, well, that's only residing in the key of C or A minor. The only F sharp diminished is only in the key of E minor and G major, being the 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the minor 6, which is its relative minor. So we learn those up front, and what happens is when you learn E minor and E major, you realize that in A major and A minor, just like C major and C minor, we are changing keys. So key of A major, 3 sharps. It has a C sharp, F sharp, and a G sharp. When we flatten the 3, the 6, and the 7 in any key, we get a minor. 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1. Therefore, no matter what key we do it in, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D, flatten the 3rd, well, that would make a F sharp and F. Flatten the 6th, well, then make a B natural, B flat, and then flatten the 7th, the C sharp, to a C, you would have 1 flat in the key of D. That's why D minor has the same key signature as F major. F major, A minor, F major, G minor, A minor, B flat major, C major, D minor. It's the minor 6 in the key of F, but in the key of D minor, it's the relative 1. So what we're seeing from this is if we play a 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1, we get a natural minor. On that photograph you sent me, yes, that is one of the 3 major minor modes that we talk about. The other 2 are incorporating having a melodic minor and harmonic minor, played a couple different ways depending on what school of thought you're going for, classical or rock and roll. That's a lot to be said. What we're going to look for next week is that you can play C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, that you know how to play them legato. Very nice long notes, doing a cross under with your thumb. Tapping a note and coming back is one way to do it. The other way to do it is to only play 1 single note. The book that I teach from shows both hands. It will have dynamic markings in it too, so you start off a little loud and then get quieter. It, however, in the book does not have another double note, so it's just not something that we would be doing. And notice how when we get to this end stop, I wanted to actually mess up on there. If I end with anything other than my 1st finger or my 5th finger, the thumb or the pinky, that means that somewhere along the line, these single story octaves have gone awry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, crossover, 1, 2, 3. back down 1, 2, 3, under. If you accidentally do a 5-note drop and then go under, you will end with here. There are different ways to play different scales for different keys and different songs for different things. So when we're doing a modulation or a movement, if I wanted to go, to go to G major, yeah, I could work myself up there. The idea is I wanted to go up the melodic scale, and I wanted to change this D minor to a D major, and then use an F sharp diminished rather than using an F major. And what I did was I took the concept of a G minor and I moved it out of its original natural minor. What I'd like to do is show you how to do this in all keys so you can do it and feel something different than just that natural minor. All of these things require us to know what a 1, 3, 5 is, and the addition of just the major 7th or the minor 7th for next week. Other than that, check this out in G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When making a scale or an idea, play in both keys. C major, G major. Both 1 and 5 of the key of C major. When you go to G major, try that in G major, and then try that in D. So we have 1, dun, 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 dun. This time, try quieter. Now, try it 1, 5, 3, 5. Now, 1, 5, 2, 5. Fun. You can make little melodies yourself on one hand. And then replicate that a 5th up. That's a great way to get used to playing G major. Heck, even include that weird note, the F sharp in G. When you do it in D, make sure you include something that has like a C sharp and an F sharp because they're in the key of D major. We'll go over how to write your own lesson explanations in this fashion later, and these videos won't be as long, but for the beginning, I want you to see that you can take any construct that we worked on, different ways to play, and then slow it down. And then speed it up. And then really fast. So when we have this down pat, we could then add that left hand, which is so hard to put together, but we work on each one. We work on it at different speeds. And then it eventually comes together and we add a couple little licks like. I hope you had fun today. The idea is I want to get you to a place where you can feel out C major and play chords without having to move your hands all around, and be able to use your hands and move your chords and have moving bass lines. And have some fun. We'll also talk about major pentatonic and minor pentatonic. All these things are the things that we will look forward to in the future, and it takes a basis of knowing what all the chords are. The aforementioned chords of C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, C. We do the same thing in G. G major, A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor, F sharp diminished, G major. When we go up 5 notes to D, we have D major, E minor, F major, I'm sorry, that's incorrect. D major, E minor, F sharp minor, G major, A major, B minor, C sharp diminished, and then we've got our D again. Those 3 chords are what we're gonna chit chat about next week, and we're gonna put some rhythms into there, just consisting of a 1, 2, 3, 4. These are whole notes. We'll be having one hand do whole notes, while the other hand does something like half notes on the 1 and 3. Eventually, we'll do half notes on the 1 and 3 with one hand, and then quarter notes with another. The idea is when you compound these, that's what gets your hands faster, and I would urge you, try not to look at your hands with your eyeballs when you're playing this time. Feel the keyboard, and what we're talking about with those things, maybe like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Those are whole notes. And then on the other hand, maybe like a C sus2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And see how both hands are working together? When you're going like this, it doesn't seem so hard to go, okay, I'm gonna go down to an F with this hand, because it feels natural to put your pinky there. Now the right hand's doing half notes, and the other hand's doing whole notes. If we were to do half notes over here, and then do quarter notes over here, we'd have see how when we speed this up, and switch 16th notes on this hand, you get a walking, moving bass line. So we combine all these techniques of moving bass lines, and you can learn them from a book. You can sit down for hours and play them with your hands in the right key, doing the scales and the numbers that are on a page. But what I'd much rather do is see what you like to play, and if you're stuck in a rut and you're doing, where do you go from there? Well, we'll figure that out. That's what I like to do. Also, if you have any artists or any pieces of music that you would like to learn, bring it to my attention. I will learn it, and I will show you how to get there. All right, it was nice meeting you. If you have any questions till then, feel free to reach out via email or in the comment section of this video. Aloha.